3 months after losing his brother, Kyle. Kurt Busch is speaking out about the next Busch coming up in this sport, and it's not just about racing talent. Kurt just revealed the new role he wants to play in 11-year-old Brexton Busch's career and why Kyle's death has changed everything for him. And hey, real quick, if you are a true NASCAR fan like me, go ahead and drop a like and subscribe to the channel. NASCAR Nation news is just getting started. We are pushing for our next subscriber milestone, and it's all about real talk from fans who live this sport every week. All right, let's get into it. Kurt Busch spent decades racing against his younger brother Kyle. Now, the NASCAR Hall of Famer is preparing to become more involved with the next Busch making his way through the sport. 3 months after Kyle's death at age 41, Kurt opened up about 11-year-old Brexton Busch and the role he hopes to play as his nephew continues pursuing a racing career. Kurt made clear he sees considerable potential in Brexton, but more than that. He indicated that Kyle's death has changed how present he wants to be as his nephew keeps developing behind the wheel. Here's what Kurt told Craig Melvin during an interview that aired on NBC's Today on Friday, August 21st. "He's a prodigy," Kurt said. "He was on gas even before all of this, right? He can be a big star in the world of motorsports. He's 11, but he's already racing like an 18-year-old. So it's time to be around a bit more." For a family whose story has been tied to NASCAR for decades, those words carry some real weight. You know, Brexton was already well into his own racing journey before losing his father. Kyle had been deeply involved in that journey, balancing his NASCAR career with his role as a racing dad as Brexton progressed through the grassroots ranks. Father and son frequently competed on the same race weekends, and Kyle spoke openly over the years about helping Brexton learn and develop, while still letting him forge his own path. Now, Kurt is signaling that he wants to be more present for what comes next, and honestly, few people could offer Brexton the kind of perspective his uncle can. Kurt won the 2004 NASCAR Cup Series championship and 34 Cup races during a career that spanned more than 2 decades. He was inducted into the NASCAR Hall of Fame in January 2026, with Kyle there to help celebrate one of the defining moments of his older brother's career. But here's the thing. Kurt's potential influence on Brexton goes beyond trophies and racing knowledge. He knows firsthand what it means to grow up in the Busch family and build a career in NASCAR. He also knows the scrutiny, the expectations, and the pressure that comes with success at the highest level. Brexton now faces an extraordinary challenge, continuing the racing journey he began with his father while grieving his loss. And Kurt's comments suggest he wants to help his nephew navigate both. Brexton has already shown that racing is more than something he simply inherited from his dad. The 11-year-old has been competing for years, with Kyle serving as one of his most important teachers and supporters. Kyle's involvement in his son's career gave NASCAR fans a different look at the 2-time Cup champion, someone whose identity later in life increasingly included being a father, helping his son chase the same dream he once pursued. Brexton returned to competition in June, just weeks after his father's death, continuing a racing career that Kyle had helped build. And now Kurt believes his nephew has the ability to take that career considerably further. His assessment that Brexton is already racing like an 18-year-old is pretty striking, coming from someone who has spent virtually his entire life around elite motorsports. But Kurt's comments weren't only about what Kyle accomplished behind the wheel, or what Brexton might accomplish someday. As he reflected on his brother's legacy, Kurt pointed to the person Kyle became away from the racetrack. The tenacity that he had, it was every day, 24/7, to help people in the latter part of his career, to be a great father like he was, Kurt said. They will all shine as time puts different things in spotlights, and one of those spotlights may eventually fall on Brexton. There's no way to replace the father who introduced him to racing, coached him, and shared that experience alongside him. But as Brexton continues down the path he began with Kyle, another NASCAR champion plans to be there more often. For the Busch family, the next chapter of its racing story may now bring Kurt and Brexton closer together. So what do you think? Can Brexton really become the star Kurt believes he can be, with his uncle now stepping in to be around more? Drop your thoughts down in the comments. And if you haven't already, make sure you like this video and subscribe to NASCAR Nation News. We've got a lot more coverage coming your way.